For all the criticism you hear from the right wing about cancel culture, no one loves to cancel more than Donald Trump. And the latest organization that's being canceled by Trump, I think like for the billionth time now, is Fox News, because apparently they reported on how poorly Trump is performing in polls against Joe Biden. And so he, of course, had a series of tweets going after Fox and urging people to watch some other outlets that are more favorable to him. But first, let's take a quick look at the segment that got Trump so upset.
Arizona, a red state, shows that former Vice President Biden is ahead, 7 points ahead in Florida. Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, there's the table right there. But what happens at the end with the Electoral College? Because, John, finally it all comes down to the Electoral College.
Yes, that's true. And in the numbers that you just cited, Eric, there's some surprises. It wasn't long ago that the president was leading in Florida and was close in some of these other states. But again, it's the gap between Biden leading and the president falling behind is a reflection of the polls basically also showing a disapproval of kind of the way the coronavirus has been handled. Now, the Electoral College could go a very different way, but it's hard for you to come up with the numbers that the president needs to win at the moment. Look, things can change. We're still many months away from the election. Entirely possible that the mood of the public could change very quickly. But at the moment, it's hard to come up with the number of Electoral College votes that the president needs to win.
So, Cenk, that was the exchange that Donald Trump threw a temper tantrum over. These are just the facts. These are the polls. This is what the poll indicates. And so he tweets to Fox News, arguing that Fox News gladly puts up the phony suppression polls as soon as they come out. We are leading in real polls. I mean, I've yet to see a single one of those so-called real polls, because people are sick and tired of watching the Democrat-run cities, in all cases, falling apart. Also now 96% approval rating in the Republican Party, another 2016. By the way, his approval rating is not 96% among Republicans anymore. I'll give you that number in just a minute. But he also urges people to watch OANN and Newsmax instead, because they do Trump's bidding for him and support him regardless of what he does. And they like to lie to their audience about what the reality is of the Trump administration and where he stands in the polling.
Yeah. So that's awesome on a couple of fronts. But there is one thing that I actually agree with him on, and it's the very end of the tweet when he said it's 2016 again. Except in this case, it's Donald Trump acting like Hillary Clinton. So now a lot of people in the press now realize the danger of Donald Trump. And so they're tough on him, relatively tough. And so they're happy to report those numbers, et cetera, and they're happy to report bad news about him, not Fox News, but MSNBC, CNN, et cetera. And so in this case, they're like, haha, can you believe Donald Trump doesn't believe the polling numbers and doesn't want anybody to say anything negative about him? I'm right there with you, brothers and sisters. That's stupid and terrible. But let's be honest, that's what Hillary Clinton did in 2016. And so if MSNBC ever reported anything negative, not just negative about Hillary Clinton, but that she might not win, the Clinton campaign, I know this for a fact. First of all, I talked to the reporters off the record. Second of all, Mika Brzezinski said it on the air. So the Clinton camp would call MSNBC every time and say, how dare you, don't ever suggest that Hillary Clinton might lose. Well, it turns out, unsurprisingly, that did not help her. It actually hurt her. It was part of her arrogance. It did voter suppression actually on her own side because it led people to believe she can't possibly lose. So they either voted for other people or stayed home. And it's that same loser mentality that Donald Trump has now. Okay, don't report the real news, report fake news, and don't worry, I'm gonna win no matter what, everybody stay home. It's not only wrong, but it's also politically stupid. It's not the right way to win. It's not the right way to get people excited about your side. So, and on this show, we're fair and honest. It was wrong when Hillary did it, and no one else will point out that she did that right now. There's no question she did, and it's wrong when Trump does it. And if you think Fox News is not right-wing enough, I mean, you're a lunatic. And so that's one guy. All he's doing is reading polls, and he's saying, yeah, if you lose Florida and Arizona, you're not gonna win the Electoral College. That's like saying 2 + 2 = 4. And Trump is raging, no, it can't equal 4. OANN, and another series of letters is telling me that it equals 5 or 6. So I'm gonna watch them instead because I'm a little baby who just wants good news, even if it doesn't exist.
Well, we should have known that he's not so great with numbers as soon as it was reported that he went bankrupt 6 times. But I do want to go back to the actual polling because it really isn't looking good for him. And if he wants to keep his head in the sand, cool, awesome. Keep doing that. So Trump has seen the fastest declines in his approval rating in some 500 counties where there have been more than 28 coronavirus deaths to 100,000 residents, right? So Pew Research polling has shown that 17% of respondents that approved of Trump in March of this year, now disapprove of the president. A Monmouth survey conducted from June 26th to 30th showed Biden ahead by 12 points with 53% compared with Trump's 41%. USA Today and Suffolk polls conducted from June 25th to 29th found the same results. Overall, the Real Clear Politics average of national polls showed Biden ahead by about 8.7 points. And the Real Clear Politics averages of polls in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Florida showed that Biden is ahead by 5 or more points in each state. So you're right, Cenk. I mean, it doesn't really help a candidate to pretend like this reality doesn't exist, but I have no interest in giving him any advice that helps him. I mean, he's not interested in any advice that helps him, clearly. He only surrounds himself with yes men who end up hurting him with policy and now with electoral politics as well. And then finally, you know how he said that 96% of Republicans support him? For a long period of time, that was true, but he has bungled the coronavirus response so much that the 96% has dropped down to 82% among Republican voters. It's still a high number, but still it's relevant considering how loyal Republican voters had been to Donald Trump, regardless of what he had done.
Yeah, these numbers are unrecoverable. So if he does drop out, he'll pretend that he could have won. No, he cannot win. So like if you were watching this and go, no, Jake, don't make the same mistake. I didn't make that mistake in 2016. A lot of people, almost everybody on TV made that mistake. We didn't make that mistake. We thought he could have won in 2016. We said that a million times. Okay?
Don't give me credit. Don't give me credit. I did not think he would win. You did. So yeah, no, you sent an email a few nights before the election saying, "Oh my God, I feel sick to my stomach. I think he could win." And yeah, it happened.
Yeah, and so look, the other person honestly I'm giving credit to is Ben Mankiewicz. He was also warning this is entirely possible, right? And so we were made fun of Huffington Post and New York Times for their outlandish numbers on Hillary Clinton's chances of winning. Now I'm telling you the reverse. His approval rating is 39. His disapproval rating is 59. He's 20 points underwater. You cannot recover from 20 points underwater with 4 months left to go. He's losing in every swing state and non-swing states like Georgia and Arizona. The Real Clear Politics average of 8.7 is misleading because the closer polls are further out. The polls that are blowouts are closer to today. And look, he's now massively underwater with Catholic voters. He won Catholic voters decisively last time around. In every category, he's in abysmal shape. Fox News did not do it justice. They just mentioned top line numbers. If you read all the numbers, it's absolutely devastating. If it wasn't Trump, every rational person would be saying this election is all but over. They're just so scared to say that because it's Trump and they think he's magical. He isn't magical. He's an idiot who went bankrupt 6 times. He was lucky because he was running a populist campaign against the most establishment candidate we've ever seen. Now he's no longer populist. He filled his cabinet with Goldman Sachs people. He's taken hundreds of millions of dollars from Republican donors. He's done corruption. And finally, the coup d'etat, or that's a funny Freudian slip, coup de grace here is the coronavirus numbers that Anna read you. In counties where coronavirus is peaking, Donald Trump's numbers are plummeting. And guess where they're peaking? Everywhere. So coronavirus is an absolute disaster right now. And unfortunately, I wish it weren't the case. It affects all of us. I'm scared to death for my parents and for everyone that we love. But it is peaking everywhere. And everywhere they see reality with their own eyes and they see loved ones dying and they see hospitals starting to get overwhelmed, they're gonna go, oh, it turns out it was all hype. It wasn't real. That's what's already happening. And it's only gonna get worse from here on out. Like the degree to which Trump is going to get humiliated in this election is immeasurable.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.